I was brought up by my mother to be a gentleman, and she taught me to buy flowers, purchase the meal, never let her pay, and never let her carry her bag or open her door. As a result, when I was a teenager, I was bullied by ladies at school for being that way. You know, I got walked all over, and yeah, they had a lot of fun with me. Favored me. I knew that as a male and as a teenager, something wasn't clicking, and it was something about what I had been taught about attractiveness by my mother, who taught me to treat every woman with respect. They thought I was a good guy, but I was the one holding their back while they got with that guy. It didn't translate. Like a princess, something about that advice wasn't translating and wasn't working now. When I started hearing from these books designed for women, if he likes you, he's already talking to you. I looked at that and I thought, God, I'm not a loser. I'm not someone I was like a guy who had some amazing things going for him. And still I would look over there and go, no way. I was afraid of the thought of stepping up to a woman and saying, I like you or I don't like you. Everything that was going wrong in their life. And yeah, that's why he doesn't have the confidence. I was like that. Think you're cute and terrifying. I started to say to women, listen, firstly, even the guys you want are afraid about coming over to you. So you might have to do a little more to make this a possibility. So that's the psychology when it's done in the direction of man to woman. And it's a lot more effective than I thought it would be. Powerful due to the fact that men have two instincts, the instinct to provide and the instinct to protect. However, some of these instincts are kind of hardwired, and what we are doing with a lot of our better nature is overcoming certain programming that we have. For example, when you are pulled out of the water by a riptide, you are able to see that your instinct tells you to swim back to shore against the current. Riptide, I just need to get back to shore, which is stronger. You or the current fighting harder won't save you. Thinking clearer will, and thinking more clearly means I need to swim sideways. I need to swim parallel. I'm giving myself a longer journey, but then when I'm out of the current, then I can swim back to shore. Instinct won't get you to do that because that requires thinking clearly. Instinct will drown you in that moment. Instinct will drown you in that moment and in a moment. Relationship in the context of dating, your instincts will lead to your demise. Do not invest in someone based on how much you like them. Instead, invest based on how much they invest in you. People do not do that. People invest on instinct. I really like them, and my investment is proportionate to how much I like them. Not to mention the fact that I am noticing that there is a mutual investment. It is like you meet someone and you connect with them, and you have a great plot of land. This plot of land could be great because it is in the middle of a forest, or it could be great because it is on the cliffs overlooking the ocean, or it could be great because it is a beautiful place to build. But it is still just a plot of land. I see it for what it is. Its potential. Now what you need is two builders, two people who are going to construct something here, and that requires two people who show up each day and lay brick of the brick of the brick of the brick and slowly but surely make a castle. Most people have the experience of someone who joins. They are both standing on that piece of land, and when they look at it, they are saying things like, isn't this great? It has the ocean. This is great. Look at the view we have here. When the trees see that this is incredible, they become very excited. One of them might be eager to construct anything. Another might be a builder. And the third might simply be incredibly impressed by the potential of this piece of land. Following that, you have the possibility that you will have a tree. The woman who is building comes to me, and a person who has left the building comes to me as well. I have someone who is there building every day, and they are performing the investment, construction site. And then 3 weeks later, after 3 weeks of ghosting her or just disappearing or just patchy communication, he calls in and says, thinking of you. That's a builder who started building, then left the building site for 3 weeks and called him from home and said, how's the castle going? You can't build on your own, and the problem we have. He went on to say that he was thinking of her. At the moment, there are an excessive number of individuals who place a higher value on the connection than the castle. The castle is transformed into a castle as a result of the collaboration of two individuals, which results in the creation of a one-of-a-kind and ornate structure. Additionally, there are hidden passageways that only the two of you are aware of. Additionally, there is a disagreement that causes a wall to be knocked down, and then you rebuild it and fortify it, which makes it even more robust. And this one is uniquely yours. It has been built by the two of you. That is a relationship. That is why you know that a 20-year relationship on marriage or a 30-year relationship of marriages is special. It is because two people have had to go through things together. They have done things together. When I was 13 years old, my parents took me to the United States for the first time. We went to Disney World, and through that experience, I discovered something very interesting about myself. You should go in there because it is magical. But there was something that stood out to me even more than Space Mountain, even more than the big ride, and it was the trash cans. On some level, which I may not have been able to fully articulate at that age, I saw the trash cans, and I was moved by them. I said that someone cared enough about this place to theme the trash cans. It moved me frequently when people were going through difficult times with their relationships. They go to these highlights. They go to the Space Mountain of their relationship. But relationships are about the trash. They go back to their partner or whatever it is that they go back to. And it is that we had that fantastic trip. But we also had those amazing times. Because if you ride Space Mountain once or twice in a day at Disney World, how many times do you use the garbage cans every 20 minutes? This is the question that you need to answer. It is the garbage cans, not the Space Mountain, that will determine the nature of your connection in the coming minutes. My concern is the number of people who are either remaining in the wrong thing because of the Space Mountain of the relationship, or they are spending an excessive amount of time grieving the loss of the wrong thing because all they remember is Space Mountain. I remember once having a Space Mountain breakup. It was the most painful breakup I've ever had. It was really in a bad way over it. And a while later, I spoke to this woman on the phone, and I had said to her in a brave moment on the phone, I said, why did you want to break up? I said, what was it for you that I wasn't doing? She said, you were boring. So I said, why was I boring? She said that she had never met someone with such an ability to decide they want something and then get it. And she said that it was so sexy. However, as we progressed in our relationship, the more time passed, the more that was all you were. You were extremely ambitious, and you knew how to get what you want. I said that when I first met you, you were the most ambitious person I had ever met. You know, you were so one-dimensional that it was all you did even in our leisure time. You were always talking about your business. You were always talking sharp. And you were always talking about your business. You were always talking sharp. There was never anything extra that you needed to discuss. We did not engage in any impromptu activities. We did not go on any adventures. Every single thing was just a single track. I learned something in that moment. One trait can make you incredibly appealing, but it won't keep someone. It can make you sexy. It can make you intriguing. But it can even for a while make someone want to be with you. She was correct. She was right. There was nothing I could fight with. And she expressed that it became dull. If you mix something like ambitions with the capacity to enjoy life, for example, then that person is actually incredibly gorgeous. However, when you combine it with something else, it becomes what I call a unique combination. You discover something like what appears to be a good man but with an edge, and that is a unique pairing. That's someone that becomes not an attraction but an addiction. It's finding those combinations that make you go, oh my God, the person I was with last night, they were this, and they were this is the, and if you want to know why you found it so hard to get over a certain next, look for the unique pairing. There was some unique pairing that made you feel like they were difficult to replace. And that is what scares us, that the more unique pairings you have, the more you become a rare bird in the dating marketplace. When you become rare, People get really terrified of losing you because you are the person who has the unique pairings that other people are terrified of losing.